Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time to my channel, my name's Ashley. I'm the founder of The Mom Look here on YouTube and on Instagram. And today we are going to test out something I am so excited about. Yes, the Pat McGrath palette. So this is one of them. This is the Mothership 3 Subversion. And I got it for Christmas if you saw my last video. It was in my Christmas haul. So this is the palette. It's absolutely stunning, so sleek, so luxe, so rich feeling. It's gorgeous. The mirror is stunning. I'm excited to be testing that out. It's like nicer than any mirror that I like even have in my room. And then these are the shades. We have 4 duochrome, like 3 other shimmer shade, maybe 4 other shimmer shades. I'm going to swatch it for you guys too, but definitely 2 mattes that I see. This one I can't tell if it's going to be a shimmer. The palette retails for $125. It's a lot of money. But I mean, so far it feels so luxurious, and like the only other palettes that I have in that like price category are some of them. I have the Natasha Denona Star palette. I'm not sure if that's the name of it. And then the Sunset palette. I'm terrible with names. I think those are actually a little bit more expensive, but you're also getting 12 or more. You might get 18 in the Star palette. So I don't know, the packaging's wicked nice on this one, but the shadows, we don't know yet, so that's what we're here for. So I guess before we dive into this, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel already, you should do that. If you feel so inclined, please give this video a thumbs up. You can turn on your notifications to let you know when I am uploading, and go ahead and follow me on Instagram while you're at it, and I've got all of my other social media linked down below in the description box. So without any further ado, let's do it. I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna touch it for the first time. I'm gonna touch them. Okay, so I'm gonna go through some swatches for you guys. I have the names somewhere. All right, so this is Skin Show Fever. Skin Show Fever. Barely can see it. Not the most impressive swatch, honestly. It looks like it would be a gorgeous highlight. Not overly impressed with how these are swatching. That definitely doesn't determine how a palette will perform though, just so everyone's clear. I'm not shitting on it yet. And then this is Night Creature. The purple one. It's pretty. It has nice purple chunks in it. It's a beautiful way to describe glitter. This next one is Deep Shade. Feel is kind of chalky. Not swatching gorgeously, but again, we'll see. These are just swatches. I'm not passing judgment. Try not to pass any judgment. Next we have Gigabyte. This one is very cool looking. It has like a yellow to green shift kind of. This next one is VR Pink. This is like a peach to pink shift. And we're going to go to Extreme Black. Now Lazarus. This looks incredibly similar to Deep Shade, but it has a slight metallicness to it. Then we're going into Black Metal. It's a very sheer shade. Now we have Blitz Amethyst. This is pretty. It's like a navy to purple shift. Not really translating on camera very well. And last, this is Astrail Orchid Ghost. She came out with Astrail, like a blue one, in her Dark Star kit. And so I already have that one. Can't even really see it on camera. So these are the swatches. Alright, and let's just jump on into playing with it. Okay, so the first shade I'm going to pick up is Blitz Amethyst. Blah, I can't speak. Blitz Amethyst. Amethyst? Amethyst. I can't pronounce that word. And I'm gonna pack it on with my finger. Wow, that is so pretty. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's really, the duochrome is really translating in person. And then I'm gonna pick up Night Creature on a brush. Kind of pack that over here. Okay, those are really beautiful colors. I am gonna come out and say this. It feels like the palette is formulated in a way that is very Pat McGrath, which makes so much sense. Like, obviously it's her palette, she's the one that, it's her creation. It's obviously gonna want to emulate her style of work. Nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't provide much room for creativity, I feel. I'm not feeling overly like inspired from this palette because it's really just doing the same thing over again with different metallics. I feel bad saying that, but I'm not feeling overly inspired by this palette. That doesn't mean that the shades aren't gorgeous. Doesn't mean I'm gonna return the palette. Like I'm obsessing over these colors. They're gorgeous. But with that being said, if you're a person that goes and buys palettes with beautiful colors with the intent of feeling inspired or having a little bit more creative flexibility, if I'm only stuck to using this palette, I'm not going to be able to create a look that's going to be outright creative or outright groundbreaking in a way. It's like a cookie cutter palette. You're given what you're given, and you're given, like, she might as well give you an outline that says put the black here and put the brown here and then fill in whatever color you want to put in the middle. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there are tons of people, like, I'm sure I'm gonna have people that are watching that are like, that's the kind of palette I want. And that's fine. I just like, she's such an iconic makeup artist for how creative her looks are on the runway. I just feel like these palettes themselves are a little, they contain your creative expression just a little bit. I mean, they're gorgeous. But I do feel a little stifled. That's my end of my rant. I'm going to be taking Extreme Black to deepen up the outer V. I will say it feels like this matte is doing the blending for me. It is unbelievable, and I'm really not experiencing, I'm afraid to like say this, but I'm really not experiencing too much fallout. So that's obviously a good thing. The sheerness of this black is really great for all the metallics because it's not taking away, it's not like subtracting anything. It's really just doing its deepening job, and I'm very impressed. I'm gonna take that black now along the lower lash line. That was the easiest smoky eye I've ever done in my entire life. I'm not just saying that. Smoky eyes can be very difficult, and this one, it's amazing. I'm very, very shocked. I'm very, very impressed. Now I'm gonna pick up that Astral Pink, Orchid Pink, whatever it was, with my finger and dot that on the inner corner. I'm actually gonna spray a brush and dip back into that. I'm gonna dip back into, actually I'm gonna take an angle brush, I'm gonna wet it a little bit, and I'm going to dip back into that Extreme Black shade and try to create like a darker outer wing. My eyes are still getting used to having all these lights here, and my contacts are like shriveling up on my eyeballs. Okay, I'm gonna pop on some lashes and mascara and meet you right back here.
And this is the finished look.
Alright, so I'm re-primed, I'm re-concealed, I'm ready to go. Okay. Alright, for this one we're gonna dip into, first we're gonna dip into Deep Shade. And we're gonna deepen up the outer V. Now I'm going to take Gigabyte with my finger and pack that on the lid. I'm going to take a brush now and just clean that up a little bit and make it a little bit more precise. Okay, now I'm going to take this smaller Morphe brush and dip back into Extreme Black. Really smoke out that outer V We want to be a little bit more precise than we were being with the last look. I want this to look a little bit more like graphic. Okay, now I'm going to again spray an angle brush and really define that outer V. Okay, now I'm going to dip back into that deep shade and run that along my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to take extreme black and create almost like an Egyptian style eye. I can't talk. An Egyptian style eye. I'm going to smoke out kind of the center of that line. Now I'm going to pick up a smaller brush and dip back into Gigabyte and run that right around along my tear duct. And I'm going to dip into VR Pink with the same brush basically. And I'm going to tap that on my inner corner. Kind of blending that up onto the lid a little bit. And just because I'm dying to use this in my Hydra liners, I'm gonna spray my makeup brush, an angle brush, and dip into this Scrunchie. I'm just gonna run that along my waterline. Right now I'm gonna pop in some lashes and we'll be right back. And this is the final look. I think this look came out so sick. It's definitely very like Pat McGrath vibes. Alright, so final thoughts. Okay, so I got this for Christmas. And it was because I couldn't bring myself to pay $125 for a palette where you only get 10 shades. So that speaks volumes in and of itself because I'll pay for almost anything. I think I look at makeup as a collection for myself. I've always been into collecting items. Like I have a big Swarovski crystal collection. And so now instead of crystals, I've switched over to makeup. So in my collection, I don't really own any drugstore anything. NYX is pretty much like the lowest drugstore that I will stoop to. I don't want that to be sounding like bougie or condescending. I look at makeup as a collector's item and I only want to collect things that I think are the best or good quality or worth keeping around and the things that'll last well throughout my collection. So that being said, I look for unique items, I look for high quality items, and I look for items that are referred to as the top of their class. That doesn't mean that I haven't dabbled with some drugstore stuff. Obviously, when you're younger, everyone plays with drugstore things, and I still will be at the grocery store and obviously my addiction kicks in and is like, oh, well, let me just try out this palette from like Wet n Wild or something like that. I know you see dupe videos on here all the time. Usually those dupes are like ColourPop or Makeup Geek, which I don't consider drugstore. They might have drugstore costs, but you still have to order them online. Now I guess you can get ColourPop in Sephora, but you're still going out of your way and ordering things that are considered high quality makeup. You aren't just picking it up at the drugstore. So, that being said, all that being said, that was such a tangent. I'm making this recommendation for people that are like-minded to me. You need this palette. This palette is stunning. It is absolutely gorgeous. Every shade in here performs at a high quality. Every shade, I've never used metallics. I have a couple of Natasha Denona palettes. These don't perform at the same quality. The mattes in here, and there's only two, but they perform much better than Natasha Denona. That's a bold statement, I know. But this is the best palette I have in my collection. So based on everything I've told you guys, I do recommend this palette. If you aren't a collector, if you are interested in just something to have, I wouldn't necessarily go out of your way and spend the $125 for this palette, but I want it. I want the other two now. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.